So I just want to talk about two things that can enhance your endurance. By the way, I want to tell you that I'm not going to edit this video. I don't have a time for editing. So if it's not interesting for you, just I will divide the video into sections so you can just skip the video into the section that is interesting for you. Today I want to talk about the relationship between endurance and how can you enhance the endurance by drinking kefir, and what else can you do to enhance your endurance from my own personal experience, of course. So I did experiment with kefir for almost a year. I'm still doing I'm still taking it occasionally, but what I find out that there is something else that's as good as kefir also. Of course, there are so many things as good as kefir, but depends on what works for you. So you have to choose the one that experiment a lot of things and then take the one that is working for you. So recently I find out that meanwhile when I go to the wrestling gym, especially wrestling, because it's very exhausting, especially when you are in the mat, and then if you try to wrestle more than 1 or 2 rounds, you are exhausting yourself in a point that you feel like you're going to die if you continue more. In that case, if I drink kefir before that match, I feel extremely strong, and then also I can endure the pressure of the wrestling for longer than normal time that I don't drink kefir, and I don't exhaust myself. But recently I find out that there is something more that I can do to increase my endurance, which is fasting. So basically some people are talking about eat meal before the wrestling, or like a workout, eat after the workout. I would say do not eat before, do not eat at least 1 hour after the workout, if you want to have a strong, let's say, like a performance. So when I was fasting and I went wrestling, of course I lose a lot of weight, and then I feel like somehow very weak when I fast. But when I go to the wrestling, after a while my body gets warmed, and then I feel like I have more endurance to go for it, compared to the time that I don't eat. I eat well and then I go to wrestling. At that time I really feel exhausted immediately. The food makes me very bloated, not bloated but very lazy. But when I stop eating, when I go to wrestling, and it feels like I can continue not just 1 round, 2 rounds, but it's like 3 or 4 rounds without losing my endurance, which means that I don't have to pant like a dog. This is the way that you usually do when you are wrestling in a high intensity. So it's not just about wrestling, it's also about other running sport and other kinds of sport. If you are planning to go for deeper level of your endurance, if you want to unlock your endurance, I would say take kefir before the match and try to fast long period of time. Let's say not long period of time, do not make it extended period of time, like 10 hours is enough. At least not eat something 5 hours before the match or 5 hours before the workout session. At that time you feel your strength is coming back, you feel like you are more like resisting against pressure from the exercises. And another thing is about the lactic acid. I don't really know a lot of things about the lactic acid, but more you do endurance training, more you do some kind of wrestling or like a strong pressure on your respiratory system and then your heart, more tolerance you build against lactic acid, and that helps you to go longer in any kind of session. And then I think that somehow kefir is helping with that, and also somehow fasting is helping with that. I don't have any kind of medical proof for that. Of course you have to try out and then find out if it's good for you or not, but try fasting before the wrestling. Let's say at least I would say 10 hours, 12 hours, because I do 10 or 12 hours, and plus when you start the wrestling session, drink some water and then take kefir, and then you will see different result. You will see that you are stronger, you have a more performance ability, you have a more endurance.